最近，两名中国女子
Last year, the incident of two Chinese women dining and ditching at a restaurant in Bangkok, Thailand, went viral on the internet. The cause was that on April 12th, the owner of a self-service barbecue restaurant in Bangkok shared a set of pictures and surveillance videos on the customer's social platform, publicly accusing two Chinese women of dining and dashing, leaving the bill unpaid. He wrote, "Come back and pay your bill. The two Chinese customers must have forgotten to pay when they left the restaurant. I feel sorry for the staff in charge of the table because they have to take responsibility. This is the third table of Chinese customers who have encountered this year who have run away without paying. I also feel sad for those who make a living by doing business." Some Chinese people often behave in an uncivilized manner when traveling, such as littering, cutting in line, making loud noises, taking off shoes and socks in public, not flushing public toilets, taking more than they should at buffets, etc. Many netizens lamented that China's morals are declining and it's no longer a country of etiquette. Analysts believe that the root cause of this phenomena is that the CCP has destroyed China's traditional culture and corrupted people's morality. Let's talk about related topics today. But before we do, we would like to invite you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and allows us to bring you more valuable content. Now, moving on. Recently, South Korean media Yonhap News Agency reported that two Chinese entered South Korea in the name of tourism and stole an urn from a temple. These two Chinese in their 40s entered Jeju Island, South Korea on February 18th, visa-free. They arrived at the temple in advance and pretended to visit, but in fact they were scouting for theft. At 1 a.m. on the 24th, they stole 6 urns and hid them in 2 places on a mountain 5 kilometers away, with 3 urns in each place. 2 days later, they left South Korea and went to Cambodia via Hong Kong. They then sent a video of the urn to the temple saying, "If you want them back, pay us 2 million. The local police mobilized 40 personnel. After watching the video, they searched the nearby mountains for 3 days. Eventually, they found all 6 urns and returned them to the families. Jeju police said they are hunting for the 2 fugitives on charges of special theft and obtaining human remains, and said, since the 2 Chinese have left the country, they plan to apply to Interpol for their arrest. Chinese people can enter Jeju Island in South Korea without a visa. The South Korean government originally planned to use this to attract tourists, but major crimes such as theft and violence have been reported frequently, making local people feel uneasy. The number of criminal cases involving foreigners on Jeju Island has continued to increase since 2021, with 505 people in 2021 and 608 in 2024. Among them, about 70% of the cases were committed by Chinese. Many Chinese have taken advantage of the visa-free policy's loophole and illegally stayed in Jeju for a long time after entering. Some work illegally in the local area, and some even commit serious crimes. Therefore, South Korea's visa-free policy has caused controversy. Many uncivilized behaviors of the Chinese have aroused public anger and even legal sanctions. On September 9th last year at around 1 p.m., a man in his 60s took a flight from Beijing to Jeju. On the plane, he took secret photos of the flight attendant with his mobile phone several times. The Jeju District Court found him guilty of violating the Special Act on Punishment of Sexual Violence and sentenced him to a fine of 5 million Korean won or $3,450. The Chinese issued a statement saying that he took the photos secretly because the stewardess was very pretty. He admitted all charges and expressed regret for his wrongdoings. Recently, another Creepshot incident was reported. A Chinese tourist took a sneak shot of a flight attendant sitting next to the emergency exit while on an ANA flight and uploaded the photos to Xiaohongshu social platform, adding quite provocative words saying, "I love all the girls on ANA, especially those made in Japan." The uploaded photo appears to have been taken inside an airplane cabin. A flight attendant was looking down at her work tablet and seemed completely unaware that she was being secretly photographed. Not only that, her brand name information is even clearly visible in some of the photos, exposing her identity on the internet and further aggravating the violation of her privacy. Japanese netizens criticized these behaviors as disgusting and very bad and suggested that ANA strengthen its in-flight security measures. ANA responded that the photos were taken and published without the consent of the parties involved, and it's requested Xiaohongshu to delete them. Xiao Hongshu initially responded that no relevant posts were found, but the content in question was later deleted. ANA pointed out that based on the right to portrait and privacy, it's absolutely intolerable for flight attendants to be photographed without their knowledge and consent. Japan has begun to implement the secret photography crime in 2023. Violators will be detained for up to 3 years or fined up to 3 million Japanese yen, which is about $20,000. ANA will do its utmost to ensure the safety of its employees and take necessary legal measures against any acts of Creepshot. In recent years, Chinese tourists' uncivilized behavior abroad has frequently appeared in the news. Such signs frequently appear in countries where Chinese people often travel, such as France, Germany, Japan, Thailand, etc. For example, Chinese, please flush the toilet after use, please be quiet, please do not spit, and so on. These signs are only marked in simplified Chinese and are specifically for mainlanders. A Thai netizen once posted a video on Facebook showing Chinese tourists frantically scrambling for shrimp in a hotel buffet restaurant in Chiang Mai, Thailand. The video shows that some tourists even take away 2 or 3 plates of shrimp at a time. Chinese people who are able to travel abroad are basically from wealthy families. The shrimp snatching incident in Thailand may seem like a trivial matter, but it reflects the quality and social morality of the Chinese people. China has a 5,000-year-old civilization and is a country of etiquette. Why do negative reports about Chinese tourists keep appearing? Analysts believe that after the Communist Party came to power, it forcibly instilled atheism into this nation, distorted people's faith, destroyed Chinese morality, and changed the standards of good and evil. People lost their moral foundation and no longer knew the meaning of etiquette, which led to today's chaos. Recently, Thai media revealed that Chinese tourists dined and dashed in Chiang Mai, Thailand. The unpaid bill was 9,480 Thai baht, or about $280. On January 26 this year, 12 Chinese people left a Korean restaurant in Udon, Tha Nhi Province, Thailand, without paying after dining. Manager Suvanthone, 27, reported the case to the local police station, saying that the restaurant was busy that night, so no one initially noticed that the Chinese customers had not paid. The 12 Chinese guests ordered some high-end dishes such as beef ribs, marbled beef, pork belly, Korean chicken soup, etc. They left the restaurant around 8:45 p.m. and staff initially thought they were going to the bathrooms as they had been coming in and out throughout the meal. According to the restaurant surveillance equipment, when they were leaving the restaurant, one of the men seemed to be checking the location of the cameras in the restaurant, and finally he left. This Korean restaurant has just opened, and the restaurant manager said this is the first time such a thing has happened in its 3 months of operation. If he fails to get these Chinese customers back, he will have to bear the restaurant's losses himself, which is equivalent to 1 month's salary. Since the amount of money was not small, a manager chose to call the police. After receiving the report, the police quickly launched an investigation and found that these Chinese were staying in a well-known local hotel. The police immediately contacted the restaurant manager and went to the hotel together. After seeing the bill, the Chinese tourists quickly paid for the meal, and the restaurant did not pursue any further responsibility. A year ago, there was an incident in Thailand where a Chinese tourist dined and dashed. Recently, Thai media reported that several Chinese tourists dined and ran without paying in Chiang Mai, Thailand. The press exposed video footage of several tourists who beat the check. In Thailand, even when murderers appear in videos, their faces are usually blurred. This gives you an idea of how unforgivable it is for Chinese tourists to run away without paying in the eyes of the Thai media. According to the media, several tourists left the restaurant in batches, pretending to go to the toilet, and the last group left the restaurant holding their children. Staff at the restaurant said these tourists were identified as Chinese. Also last year, there was an even more egregious incident in which a Chinese man and woman stole a diamond bracelet worth 1.04 million baht, or about $30,000, from a well-known shopping mall in Thailand. According to reports from multiple Thai media outlets, at 6:30 p.m. on April 16th last year, officers from the Pathuwan police station in Bangkok, Thailand received a report that the top luxury jewelry store Van Cleef & Arpels on the M floor of the famous shopping mall Siam Paragon had been stolen. The store manager Song Ta told the police that a man about 25 to 30 years old, wearing a gray short-sleeved shirt, black pants and glasses, appeared before the incident. He walked into the store with a woman of similar age and said he wanted to see a gold diamond bracelet. During this time, the woman took advantage of the clerk's inattention and quickly hid the bracelet in her left sleeve and covered it with her mobile phone. Then the man put his cell phone into his right trouser pocket and made a similar fake gesture. Afterward, the two quickly walked out of the store and took a private taxi with a license plate number 9327. After receiving the report, the police quickly found the taxi driver. The driver only took the two people to the suburbs and did not participate in the crime. The two returned to China on the same day after committing the crime. The police determined that the two Chinese had traveled to Thailand specifically to commit this crime because they had just entered Thailand at 6 a.m. on the day of the crime, checked into a hotel, and immediately fled back to China after committing the crime in the evening of the same day. At present, the case is under further investigation. One netizen commented, "It's so stupid to do this in Thailand. The jewelry store and customs are all recorded. Facing a heavy fine and several years in prison, it's embarrassing overseas." Some of the behaviors of Chinese tourists overseas are surprising, and the same is true in the country. Recently, a stone lion in Beijing's Faiyuan Temple was pushed down by tourists and broke into two pieces, resulting in the lion's head and body being separated.
2025年3月11日
On March 11, 2025, a pair of 600-year-old stone lions in front of the Sutra Library of Faiyuan Temple in Beijing, one of which was maliciously pushed down and broken into two. It has now been removed, leaving only a base. The other stone lion is still fine now. The base does not seem to be compatible with the stone lion, and there is no reinforcement. It's just floating on the base. Some protective measures should be taken quickly. Currently, in the yard, there is another pair of stone lions. After it was pushed down from above, it fell and broke into two pieces. It was a stone lion that was at least 600 years old. Just imagine how precious its history is. It has been preserved to this day after being eroded by wind and rain for more than 600 years and having experienced so many wars, fires, and earthquakes. According to Beijing News, staff at Faiyuan Temple confirmed the incident but said it did not happen on March 11th but earlier. Beijing police also responded that the case is under investigation. At present, the cultural relic has been handed over to the Cultural Relics Appraisal Department for appraisal. A researcher at the Beijing Institute of Archaeology said the damaged stone lions are at least 600 years old and are cultural relics from the Ming and Qing dynasties. It has high artistic value. If the appraisal of this cultural relic reaches a certain level, serious cases will be subjected to criminal law, and minor cases will be subject to administrative penalties. After the video was exposed, it caused indignation among netizens online. One netizen said, "From a legal perspective, this is intentional damage to cultural relics. From a religious perspective, this should be considered as destroying temple property. The property of a temple, not even a blade of grass or a tree, cannot be used at will. Some people are ignorant and fearless, do not believe in cause and effect, are self-righteous, and commit evil deeds recklessly." Another netizen commented, "There must be severe punishment. There must be criminal punishment. These people who don't know the severity of the situation have no sense of responsibility, no sense of public morality, don't care about public property, don't care about historical relics, have a weak sense of law, and are self-righteous, must be dealt with seriously." That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.